Sunnybrook Smart Learning. Be smart, be fun. Learning is smart. Learning is fun. This program is for parents, teachers, students, and lifelong learners. For this second episode, our topic is learning better by first learning to learn. And that word is metacognition. My guests for today are Caritza, Karen, and Jep. Okay, so what is metacognition? It refers to an awareness and control over your own thinking and learning, knowing what you know and what you don't know. You have certain control about your learning and thinking, and you should be able to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses so that you will know what you already know and what you don't know. Okay. So Karen, is this was this a new word when you came to UP for your master's education?
Actually, I think I've heard it before, but when I came to UP, I think it was actually your class po. No, when we talked about metacognition, and I think the question that struck me was, do you know what you don't know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait.
You know what you don't know.
What do I know and what do I don't know? And I remember from that class na the hardest would be, yun nga, not knowing what you don't know.
Right.
So yun,
Yeah.
for me. So
So-
it was a new concept.
Correct.
For me.
Yeah. Actually, meta is above cognition. So cognition is knowledge, but
Yes.
meta is above the knowledge. So it is executing how you will know and how
Yes.
you will think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was just not quite recent that Flavel had that definition. Now you probably have heard, also attributed to Jose Rizal, although it was a very old Chinese proverb: give a man a fish, feed him for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, then you feed him for a lifetime. So you see, through the years of our education, we did not learn how to learn. We were learning about subjects. So much had gone by na wasted, right? Because we had not learned enough sufficiently. You know? Jap, how long have you been a student already?
Around 15 years.
15
More than,
years,
including
you're-
now.
Yes.
So you have been a student for 15 years.
Yes po.
Do you think that you kept all those learning in the 15 years? All the chemistry and
I only learned the most important, I guess, and more relatable to my life. But all the formulas, got in the mix.
Although we all got a good grade in chemistry,
Yeah.
but have we learned? We have not learned because you're not using it, and you don't know what you don't know,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So in every endeavor and every subject, there are at least three part metacognitive processes. So planning, monitoring, and evaluating. For example, in your examination, Caritza, when you were an elementary student, how did you prepare for exam?
Well, that was bad because I usually cram.
So no planning.
No planning at all.
Going straight to ano.
Yeah, I'll just study. I just pull an all-nighter night before the
All-nighter
exam. Yeah.
before the exam. That's the
Yes.
worst thing to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
To prepare for exam.
Yes.
And no wonder you forgot everything.
Yes.
After
Because
exam,
no
wala
planning,
na.
True.
Diba?
Yeah, is that common for many students?
I
They
think
study for the exam, for the teacher lang.
I think usually lalo na po kapag grade school, high school, and then kahit sa college po, cramming. But now that, I think iba po kasi pag grad school na eh, parang sobrang
Dedicated.
decision.
More
Yeah.
motivated.
More
Yes.
motivated, and then you have other reasons doing it already.
Correct,
So I
yeah.
think you do more planning involved. And then you're also working.
Correct. Yeah,
So
yeah.
parang you
So
need a
time
little
is
bit
limited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also because teachers have to prepare you early on. Not tomorrow you are going to have an exam. They have to announce it early enough so that
Yes.
you have chance to plan.
To plan.
Oo.
Yes. Yes.
And then while you are planning a project, like for example, thesis,
Lapit na.
lapit na.
Yes.
Currently.
Good. Oo. Have you started planning about it?
Yes, well, actually now I have a feeler and all the articles related to my thesis are already
wow.
there.
Oh,
po.
that's
Yes,
good. That's
Yes,
good planning.
it's about humor in education.
Correct.
Exciting.
So,
Yeah.
I am collecting na po articles and I put it in one parang
Yeah.
bind.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's good. Now, in any project or assignment, the teacher should help the students to plan. The younger the students, the more they need guidance. But for example, you are in grad school, Karen, no? You are doing an action research, for example,
Yes.
for your class.
In my class.
Are you monitoring more or less how the progress is doing now?
Yes, actually, I realized when you do action research, you have to spend a little bit time, especially on the first stage, in the planning. Because you have so many other people involved, aside from your group mates who will do the activities with you. You have to make sure you communicate very well with the schools that you're involved with. They have to know what's going to happen. So you
Correct,
just can't go, can we go there next week? They have to know what are we doing. So before we go
Exactly,
there,
yeah.
we know everything that's going to happen from the start to the end. So planning should be very, very
That is
important.
so good. Karen always is very responsible
Yes.
in
Oh,
her
yeah.
work, individual and group. You
That's
agree?
recorded
Yes, po.
on TV. Everybody
We have
knows
been
that.
grouping for several
Yeah.
projects.
So because you teach grade 4, di ba?
Yes,
Jap, no? So how would you teach students, children, how to plan, no? Planning means to prepare and to predict. So these are some of the questions students have to ask themselves, like, what is the assignment? Yeah?
Yes.
Because when my son was young and he came home and I said, what is your assignment? And he said, I don't know. He doesn't even know what the assignment is.
Yes.
I said, if you don't know, I don't know. Yeah, you are responsible. I'm not going to the school, parang grade 1 or grade 2, to ask the teacher.
Yes.
Even just knowing what the assignment is planning. And how will I do it? This one is very important. I put down these questions. How long will this take? Yeah, some things are easier done. Yeah, some are a math exercise might be easy for some. It might take 10 minutes, but it might take 50 minutes for other people.
Yes.
So you have to know how long this will need and what do I need to do this assignment. Now, in monitoring, it's present na, checking the progress, making adjustments. Yeah? How well am I doing now? Am I doing it too slow? Should I speed up? What changes should I consider? So for example, if you are doing your examination already, taking a test, di ba, the teacher tells you how much time you have.
Yes.
And if you are stuck in one question, you should be checking how much time you still need for the rest of the examination. So always, while you are answering, you are monitoring too the progress. No?
Dr. Gu, I have a question po. For example, I have too many assignments. For example, in mathematics, in science.
For your
and
students or
for myself po. What should I accomplish first? The easier homeworks or the
very
harder
good question, huh? Very good question.
Right.
I would say, you know, the easy one, just to motivate yourself. I'm done with one. The easy one should not take too long, but you have to plan. This will take 15 minutes, that will take 30 minutes, that will take an hour or so. And you plan your evening according to the plan, monitoring. No? But they should not be similar. It should not be, the subject should not be similar. You have to make dissimilar subjects, following dissimilar subject. Like for example, you do math, tapos algebra, tapos statistics, very confusing. You should do math, then for example literature, and then something else. So it will go into the long-term memory then. So when you were students, did you evaluate? Assess what you know and how and why you know it? Did you ask this question? How well did I do? What worked? What did not work? What are lessons learned? How can I improve in similar tasks in the future? You probably had learned some tricks, what worked and what did
Yes.
not work. So what were your tricks for preparing for exam?
For me, personally, I think growing up, I didn't have any idea of this. So I think when I understood this in MA, I know how to learn that, but I wish I knew this better. But when I think like
We should know
students,
the-
if they know
Study
that,
earlier.
if they know that they have to plan, that they have to monitor, they need to evaluate, I think my life would have been different. But anyway, before, I think for everybody, it's really cramming. No, I know hindi dapat but
Everything at the same
Efficient cramming. Efficient cramming.
And then after several weeks, you forgot everything.
Yes.
That's so. What's the
Yeah.
point of having a
Yes.
grade 3, grade 4 when everything
Yes.
we're lost? Yeah, because you have to know thyself then. What to consider when you are doing metacognition? Person variable. Are you a lazy person or a hardworking? Yeah. Are you someone who is strong in math or weak in literature and so on? The person variable. Another is task variable. As I said, certain subjects or certain tasks are easier for you. Writing essay is easy for me, right? Very easy, right? Doing group work is not that easy because of different time, different work ethics, and so on. Yeah. And then the time variable. How much time does the teacher give you to do this? If it is 2 weeks, it will be quite different from where you are given 2 months. When there are 2 months, then you can start slow. Yeah. And then strategy variable. In the past, what strategy worked and what did not work. And lastly, your standard variable.
Yes.
Oh, you want to get 1 or you want to get 3?
of course,
Yeah, so
one.
the uno is another standard that you will have to work hard for that. Yeah. So these are important variables to consider when we do metacognition. Yeah. And so I put here 10 self-regulated learning strategies. We're going to teach our audience, our students, our teachers and parents on how to do metacognition by following these 10 simple strategies. The first is self-evaluation. You have to put together all the examination papers of your children or yourself and see where you are. Where am I now? Am I to be a summa cum laude candidate? And then what worked and what did not work. Self-evaluation is very important. Second, this is very important to organizing your notes and transforming your notes. My best students were always those who were very good with note-taking and kept their notes and not in any paper. And you can read and organize your notes pa. The third is to goal set and planning. Goal setting and planning.
Yes.
When do you want to do this and when do you expect it to finish? The fourth is seeking information. If you need more information, where to look for information. Yeah. These days, people know how to Google and so on. Now, in many decades ago, they have to go to the library to look for information. And then keeping your records. Do you know your transcript? Is it complete? So that before graduation, you will not get a surprise in your life that you had failed to do this subject or not. No? So I'm going to go through it quickly, and then I'll ask you which of those you do pretty well and which you are bad in. Environmental structuring is to study in a quiet room alone, no distraction. So you are actually restructuring your environment, and no cell phone and so on. Number 7, self-consequences means you reward yourself for good work. Yeah, and punish yourself for not doing well. Meaning you will not watch TV anymore, or you can. So you should have self-consequences. And then repeating, rehearsing, and memorizing are good ways for you to do well when you took the comprehensive exam as well. And then lastly, the last 2, seeking assistance. Yeah, seek help from peers, from students, fellow students who are good in those subjects, from the teachers and adults. And then reviewing notes. Review also your previous tests. for parents, no? The short quizzes have to be reviewed before they take the final examination, the notes and the textbooks. Okay, so share with us, Jap, which of those are you doing pretty well?
I think I'm good in seeking assistance. Lots of friends. And
Good.
Yeah.
especially when I am taking econometrics. So I'm really bad at that. Tapos I have friends who are very good in derivation. So I
Right,
ask
yeah.
them po to help me.
Yeah.
And since we are friends, they can teach that to me without any pressure.
Good, yeah.
So I think
because
that
with
helps me
your
a lot.
personality,
Yeah.
he's very social,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that is easy for you.
Yes po.
Yeah.
Probably for the introverts, it is not easy
Yes.
to
Yes.
ask help, no?
Yes po.
Oo.
But I'm very poor po in rehearsing and memorizing.
Ah, I
really?
feel
Yeah.
you.
Because I'm bad in memorization.
There are many tips on how to memorize well. Even if we are in the constructivist view, we construct knowledge.
Yes.
Much of what we have to construct need materials, and these materials should be memorized already in our head.
Yes.
Yeah. So content is still important.
Oh.
So you can
Content.
teach without notes or textbook because the contents are here na. Diba? How about Karen?
For me, I think I'm really good at organizing, goal setting, planning. So I can like plan it.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I don't get to follow through. And I think my lowest score would be self-consequence. So I think I should do that. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I can plan, but the problem is sometimes I don't get to follow through. So I should learn how to develop yung self-consequence. Like, limit na my time on social media.
On social media, yeah.
Watching Netflix. So
Fasting
yun.
on social
Yes.
media. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how we do it. We reward and punish
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the teachers to punish you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. How about Caritza?
I think I'm pretty good at seeking assistance.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm in a study group. We call it study group with,
Oh, wow.
with friends, and we were all doing our thesis.
Ah,
So
good.
some of us, yeah.
So what do you study?
No,
How to
but
Work
do
on your
research.
thesis.
yeah, how to do
Ah.
research. So we were on our different stages of our
already.
thesis. Yeah, and
Okay.
then like
nice.
yeah,
So
and then
who's facilitating this? Is this a teacher or a
kailan?
classmate?
a friend.
There's a friend.
Yeah,
who's,
friend.
like, taking
But the friend
notes.
is was a classmate before taking note.
But we are all grad students.
Wait, how
good.
nice.
Yeah, and then for
We have to do that.
Okay.
yeah, for
No-
self
no
consequences,
Noting.
so we punish and reward ourselves. So
Nice.
yeah, so
You know what that is? Accountability.
yes.
So you're accountable, okay? By
And-
2 weeks time, you should be good.
Yeah.
If
Raising
not,
up.
somebody is going to look over
So
you.
next week we're going to redeem a free dinner from one person that studied
Because
group.
you were successful na in a
no,
state.
because he failed to submit our
Oh, he
requirements
has to
on
treat
time.
you.
Yeah,
Ang
so he has to
galing.
treat us.
Okay, so he's going
I
to
like
treat
this.
you na.
Yes.
So when I had several batches of graduates from PhD, no? When they prepared for their comprehensive exam, that's a 3-day examination. They have a study group as well.
So hard.
Yeah, and the best scorers were those who were in study groups because they encourage one each it is planning very well and monitoring themselves.
Yes.
Remember,
Yes.
Yeah.
in your class po, we had,
Yeah, with the,
and we are the top scorers po.
Ah.
For the record.
That's why I invite you to my show. Yeah, this is very important because time flies very quickly.
Yes.
If you don't
Yes.
plan well, your life is half
Yeah.
quarter
Quarter
instead of
life
a
And also,
quarter life
can I
crisis.
say something? This is the first time I did a study group, I think, like in a long time. And what I realized was, one, you have to come prepared. So you're bringing something to the table.
Right.
But at the same time, why I think it's very useful and helpful was they bring into the table something I don't know.
Correct,
Like, what?
yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's very helpful
The
that you
same
get
for me
people.
as a teacher. I learn from my students because they come from different fields
Yeah.
of work,
Yeah.
and they bring fresh perspectives, or
Yes.
they had met other people that I've not met, and so on. So I learned from them. That's why I've been teaching all these years, to learn from my students. That's how it is, no? So metacognition involves three important steps, yeah? The planning, the monitoring, and the evaluating. Teachers should help their students how to plan and to monitor and to evaluate. Much so for children, younger students, their parents should help them do the same.
Yes.
Yeah? They should just supervise their time doing their assignments, not only just worrying about the scores. Time management is life management, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, most of you did well in seeking assistance. No, I'm glad because you can seek assistance not only from your peers but from your teachers and adults. No, make a consultation with your teachers as well. Now, self-consequencing is not easy for Karen, because you don't punish yourself enough, or
I don't punish myself enough, or if I didn't follow my plan, I know I should adjust something later on so I can follow through. But I tend to reward myself more. But I will practice this so I get to like stick, especially with thesis coming in.
Yeah.
I think I should practice
So
self-consequencing.
self-indulge.
Yes. Like, okay, it's time for Netflix.
Netflix talagang motivation.
Yeah.
I think that it should be the motivation, not taking all your time away.
Oh,
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. If I did it quicker, then I'll have time for Netflix and watching movies. Yeah. Which is hard for most people. Is environmental structuring common for all people? Do you study in a quiet place, alone, no
I think
distraction?
it varies po among people.
Yeah.
For example po ako, when I was in high school, I remember I review in jeepneys.
Yeah.
So
It works for you?
it worked for me po in high school.
Wow.
But in masters, di ko po, no. Kailangan po nasa library.
Yes.
So it changes, but it doesn't really happening po.
Jeepney is fine because you spend so much time in the jeep, di ba?
Yes.
You look at 2 or 3 sentences and you try to memorize.
Oh.
Kasi if you look at it's hard for a PhD or a master's
Yes.
students
Yeah.
because you are looking at very small words, font and so on, very deep. But when it is now memorizing, okay, so the first, you do acronym yourself
Yes.
because you said memorizing is hard for you.
Yes po.
Oo. So doing it in this spare time is important since you are seated there for so long. You have to actually, when you do your thesis presentation, you have to remember the main ideas quick. Not too dependent on your notes as well.
So does it mean like the environmental structure is not like set for everybody? Like it depends on what works for each one?
Yes, and your personality.
Yeah.
But don't listen to songs while you are trying to memorize your book or your notebook because there are words that are disturbing your word encoding.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you teach children to structure their environment in doing their assignments? Now, of course, we are very pragmatic. No, some houses don't even have rooms that
Yes.
separate them from other places.
Yes.
So some of my students said the most quiet place is their toilet. Yeah. But I think it is respectful of your siblings if somebody is studying not to watch TV aloud.
Yeah.
Diba? We should help each other to structure the environment that is most conducive to learning. I think as parents, they have to be strict with disciplining their children if there are many children in the room. Yeah. So metacognition is very important because we spend most of our life learning, and even when you graduated from PhD, now you will still keep on learning. But so much time has been wasted because people don't know how to use their time. No? So I remember this verse from Ephesians 5. It says, "Look carefully how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time." Making the best use of the time because the days are evil. And what is that? The days are evil. There are too many temptations. There are many too disruptions
Yes,
and so on.
yes.
Yeah, see no evil.
Yeah,
Hear no
right.
evil. Gossip is a lot of takes so much of your time as well.
Yes.
So make the best use of the time because the days are evil. Our talents, our treasures, our tongue, these three keys are from God. No, sayang yung we waste our talents if we are not making of the use of the time to cultivate and make reach our potential with our talents. Okay? Do you have any question about metacognition? So we can, maybe I can help you with that as well. So teach a man to fish. Feed him for a lifetime. Not just give him a fish. Some teachers are spoon feeding the children.
Yes.
That is for a day only. But you teach them how to learn, and then they will learn lifelong na. So they have a lifetime. Okay? All right. So monitoring is something that you should be working on as a current master's
I have
student.
one
Yeah.
question, Dr. Like, we in grad school, in MA, you get across people with different ages and level. How do you feel about people who say, ay, hayaan mo na, matanda na ako eh.
Huh?
Or,
Yeah.
hayaan mo na, thunders na talaga. Is that something na, kasi I think metacognition should be lifelong. But what
Correct.
about these people who think na they're set na on their ways?
Yes. You know, they have the bad attitude of learning.
So it's not acceptable
I've
reason.
seen people at 80, they are
Yeah.
still learning
Yes.
new language. That is just the motivation to learn by itself is a good attitude. If they think they are old, they are old.
Yes,
No, we should not
yes.
think
Okay.
we are too
Yeah.
old to
To
learn.
learn.
It's
True.
never too old to learn anything.
Right.
Okay, so make the best use of your time,
Yes.
Jap, Karen, and Carissa, because
Yeah.
the days are evil.
Yes.
And
right.
thank you, audience, for watching this second episode on metacognition. This is Sunnybrook Smart Learning. We will see you next time.